right. Bring this over here. All right, I think this is it. I think we can also turn this up a little bit, right? We got to. Oh my gosh. I can already feel the energy right now, guys. I'm feeling crazy on my shit right now. All right. My back, I feel like I'm crippled right now. Like my back is just messed up. I was lifting up heavy glaze buckets. Oh wait, hold on. Green on. Green on. There we go. So I'll tell you guys, I was lifting up a bunch of glaze buckets. I'll even show you. Wow, this is gonna be funny because there's only one blue one. So it's gonna look like there's this blue one that's just floating. Oh, you guys can't even see. But you can see how big it is because of the invisibility it is here, right? Do you see? That's how big. There's just like a bunch of barrels, like, I don't know, like 8 of them maybe? I don't know. Full of reclaimed clay that I had to get rid of. So that was number 1. That was annoying, but I did it. So now I got rid of the reclaim, so I got a bunch of empty buckets. The green screen is gonna change just a little bit, right? And so that's coming up for you guys pretty soon. And then I also had to move a bunch of glaze buckets. So I was mixing some glazes this morning, and I had to lift those glaze buckets, and somebody wanted a full bucket, and so I think I was using a lot of my back muscle. I was trying to hold it in front of me, right? Or I was doing it in between my legs, but I think that still kind of wore away on my back. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it. Let's see, how do I do this? Wedging table. Nice. Green off. There we go, guys. So we got some dude freaking doing push-ups in the background, dude. I feel like that's epic. Jesus, so many pieces. Yeah, I wish I could show you upstairs, yo. My whole entire room is filled to the brim. But here we are. I already wedged this one up a little bit, and I remembered that I can show you guys my wedging now. I also have this little, I can see what you guys say now. Instead of having to come on over, I have it right next to my wheel, so I don't have to get up. So if you want to talk, feel free, and if not, no worries. Oh yeah, but I remember your pieces. I was looking at your page the other day. Your work is awesome. I was inspired by the heads that you made, those little masks. And I think they kind of remind me, I'm a little bit of a gamer boy, right? And so my gamer boy inside of me thought they looked like the game Elden Ring. There's these crowns, they called them the glintstone crowns. And there's these stone statue faces. They almost look like Greek statues, right? Or maybe a little bit like very communist sculpture vibes. They have that energy to them. And then they have this like gems on the top roof of their head. And I was like, dang, like somebody's just wearing a giant stone mask. And it's like a really good mask. It gives you like certain stats or whatever. But then it made me think about your work a little bit. And I've actually tried to make one of those before, like a mask, but it didn't work out well for me. And I think there's another Instagram potter who does something similar as well. But yeah. All right. Wheel. Nice. Gotta get some new water in here. Someone said it reminded them of that game as well. No way! So, yeah, I think you're probably still in undergrad, right? So I feel like a lot of the people like in our generation, I mean, you're probably a little bit younger than I am, but are really gamer heads, you know? and I think a lot of those people go to school, you know, like art school, so I'm not surprised somebody thought of them. I forgot the name, but it was like the Eye of... Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, there's like this wizard dude who has like this giant eye on his head. It's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of epic. Oh yeah, you know what? Your mask does kind of like that opening looks like if you were a Cyclops, you know, it'd be awesome mask for that because it has that Cyclops space, right? But here we go. Pushing this down. I feel like that's kind of funny that like video game references are making their way in critique though. Okay, a little bit of water right at the bottom. Project that upwards. All right, there's one right here. Pottery shelf. Bring that up. All right, here we go. Camera B. Camera B. Feeling the music, right? Let that, don't, you know, just let the music be a thing. Let it make its way into your process there. I just realized I have to turn my camera off over here. 1 second, y'all. Boom. You're gonna see working out dude in the background. Oh, I just got a lot of clay on my camera. So gross, bro. All right, whatever. All right. What am I planning to do with all the pieces I created? My goal is I'm gonna be making a, well, first, I don't know if I want to stop at 1,000, right? Don't tell anybody yet, right? But there's this quote by Bruce Lee, the Bruce Lee himself, and he said, "I'm not scared of the man who can punch 10,000 different ways. I'm scared of the man who can punch one way 10,000 times." How cool would it be to respond to that quote and literally, you know, feel the rhythm, right? Yeah, I am feeling the rhythm right now. But to literally, like, beat that quote and scare Bruce Lee. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet. I really think I might though. But after that, you know, I wanna have 2 installations of this. I wanna have one installation where I fill up a whole entire room. You can't even enter the room, right? You can't even enter the room. And you have to look at all the pieces from outside the room. And then you have some of these trees totally, you know, are a little bit more mundane, but some of them are like pots that you've never seen before, right? Like there's some of them that, like even now when I look at some like upstairs, I think there's like 5 of them out of like the 800 right now that feel like they could be my best pots, right? And the idea that somebody looks into a room and sees all these and they don't even get to notice which ones are my favorite, right? Or they don't even get to see them, right? I think that for an installation really excites me. And another installation is one long ass pedestal, one that's just beeline, right? Maybe out into the wilderness somewhere, you know? I'm thinking like Andy Goldsworthy's, you know, lamb hair woven all over those stone bricks, like that ephemeral work, right? And then you just walk along that and get to see them all individually. And then I have a top secret 3rd installation, but I cannot tell you guys about it or else it won't happen, right? See, that reminds me of the Harry Potter movie where there's that room of gold gauntlets and they legit drown in them. Whoa, gold gauntlets. Like this room right now. Or, oh, that first, yeah, that idea of filling up the room. Yeah, I think it would just be cool. That'd be actually an interesting, I'll have to look up that quote or that clip from the movie because that sounds really interesting actually. I feel like, you know, believe it or not, I can't really remember when I was watching that whole entire series of the Harry Potter series. But let me tell you, I definitely didn't read the books. I looked at those Harry Potter books and I was just like, I was struggling with, you know, the magic tree house, let alone Harry Potter, yo. We got some goats in the chat from OZ. Thanks for the goats, yo. I'm bringing this in for that first pull. Didn't really do a great job on that first pull. I missed on that bottom just a tad, and you'll even see that, you know, like on that first pull if you ever I don't know if you can replay on Instagram actually. But again, right at that bottom edge. I want to make sure I really project some of that clay into that bottom edge there, right? So there we are, making sure it's all nice and smooth. And we're just going to slowly lift up our hand. We're not trying to emphasize the bump on this pull, right? I'm not trying to emphasize that bump on this pull. We're trying to just vibe with it. I can probably turn this down a little bit. I don't know if I have my neighbors upstairs. I feel like if they came down and told me to turn off, I would though. Could you imagine you're a neighbor with me? You're like some dude just streaming in the basement, listening to funk music. I feel like that's kind of funny. Grab that bump, right? Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Get a little bit of water on there. But I feel like if my neighbors saw the interior of my house, they'd be a little frightened of me. Oh, this guy's clay crazy. A little bit of water right on the elbow. Go right down to the bottom. Ask that clay, say, hey clay, you got anything for me? The clay will usually say, yeah, we got this little bump for you. I need you to take it up the side of the pot. Come on. Look at that frickin' buckle on the bottom there. Don't get scared. Finish that pull. Keep that bump all the way to the top. The rim is where things get tricky. Switch up the position. Finish off the rim. Thin that out. Nice. Look at that pull, guys. I felt some freaking energy in that one. Okay. You gotta get some water out of here. And so, you know, this is why I say when you have stiff clay, you can do stuff like that, right? If I had soft clay right now, there's no way I'd be up to my elbow with the same amount, right? Got a little bit of my hands hitting that bottom edge, but that's okay because we're getting ready for the twist here. So here we go. Oh, you know what? We're gonna start with a spiral. Stop. And start. Emphasize. Don't freak out when it starts collapsing like that, guys. Because if it gets collapsed enough, it's going to create its own anchor point, right? So just hold it there and watch it just wind up like that. Totally collapsed, right? But if you just keep that twist, you can force it to be stable enough to continue throwing. Look at that pot, guys. Freaking animal right now. Can't break away from soft clay. I know. It's like one of the hardest things. I think I always didn't do it when I first started. But let me tell you, I had one moment where I swapped off some hard clay and I got to really way taller than what I got before. And then it felt like I was carving out of a vessel. I was carving out a vessel rather than constructing or building up a vessel. I was like carving out a vessel, right? And so then I just couldn't turn back. Now everything has to be hard or else I don't even want to throw with it. I'd rather throw with something that's way too hard than even just a little bit soft. Okay, anyway. Yeah, maybe just give it a try for a day, you know, let some clay sit out, you know, leave it out in the morning for a couple hours, make a coffee, do some errands, you know, do something on one of the days that you maybe have some time, right? And then give it a shot there, Jack. Reminds me of the old big trees in Africa or Madagascar where they have these giant trunks and roots. Yeah, it's like the Babao, something. I know what you're talking about. On one of my videos, I had this video on my YouTube that popped off. It got like 3 million views, right? But it was interesting, not because it got 3 million views, because there was micro conversations happening in the chat, right? And some of them were about those trees. Yeah, the baobab, right? And so there was so many people talking about how they looked like the baobabs, and that really interested me, so I got to see those. So it was cool when something goes viral. It's like you're having like a ton of critiques. Like imagine, you know, for those who went to like the art school thing, you'll know, you know, like critiques are not, you know, always the most generative thing, but when they are, they're really great, right? So imagine you have like 100 really interesting and different critiques on your work all at the same time. Imagine the growth that you can get in your work from that, right? And so I thought that was really cool. I got to hear all these different facets of my work that I never knew existed just because the video, you know, kind of resulted in that. So something that, you know, modern day artists get to use as a generative process. It's really kind of cool to me. Anyway, you know, we're just kind of making these in some little way here, not worrying too much about it. Don't look at that, guys. One more there. Bring this down. The baobab. Yep. Can you imagine if my stool was made out of baobab wood? I feel like that'd be a cool manifestation. Look at that, guys. This one might be one of the coolest of those spiral at the bottom ones. So pretty interesting to have that one happen right now. Really thinking that's a great one. All right, now let's try to one-up it. Again, my back is so screwed up. Trying to channel that energy, that funk energy, yo. Preparing for that battle on the wheel. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, camera A. Whoa! Down, down, down. Push that, right? Get it as close to center as possible before you even start throwing. Yerba mate. I see that all over the place. Yerba mate is good for backs. I feel like I should give that a shot. I was probably just gonna have some, I love coffee at night. Like that stuff is the best. I know it's probably not the best for you, you know. Look at that, it's right on my hair there. Make a rhino or Godzilla. That's so crazy. You know, one of my students, she's obsessed with dragons, and I was telling her about Godzilla and if she watched the new Godzilla movie, and she's like, no, Mr. Noah, I haven't really ever seen anything about Godzilla before. And I showed her some photos of Godzilla, and then she sculpted 2 Godzillas. She sculpted one, and it was so good, and I said, hey, can you make me a Godzilla? And then she said, oh yes, for sure, Mr. Noah. And then she made me a Godzilla. It was awesome. So I hope I can have it. I feel like if it turns out too good, she's probably going to want it, which is fair. You know. Anyway, pushing this down. Camera B. Or you know what? We won't camera B. Camera A. Camera A. Wheel. There we go. Zilla Squad, I know, right? I love, you know, I actually been thinking about having a suit that I wear. I keep thinking about this idea of a suit like that I throw it in, right? That has my microphone, all my tech stuff on it, right? Even my head cam that I don't have on right now, right? But get everything so it's all contained within a suit. And I keep looking at the Godzilla suits. Although, see that would be throwing in a Godzilla suit would be absolutely insane. Can you imagine that? But I don't think that's likely. Okay, we're pulling this up. Nice. Go right down to the bottom here. A little bit of water. Knuckle right at the base. Bring that in ever so slightly. Dum, 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 dum. Somebody said hi, hello. A little bit of water right at the bottom again. So here we go, another pull. I'm going to start separating that out. Finish that pull. That's a really good first pull. All right, camera B. Camera B. Right up. Curl your finger right over there. Nice. A little bit of water right down. Finger right at the bottom base here. Pushing that out ever so slightly. That bump, find that bump. Slow that wheel down. Oh, no, never mind. We can speed this up. Come on, you're not going to twist yet. Nice, yo. That was a really quick pull. You guys see that one? Looks like I was in like 2 times speed. Alright, so once you catch that spot and it feels good, you can just start cruising with it, you know? But sometimes it's always best to go slow, but I felt like the music right now, it doesn't want that, you know? Oh. That's crazy, guys. We saved that one. Okay, we'll keep that out. Chill, bro. Come on. I give it a little wiggle. The clay's like, enough, bro. Chill out. Chill out, dude. Alright. Oh gosh, guys. I feel like I've been touching that one way too much. So funny. Good save. I feel like I just caused everybody a bunch of anxiety. I'm sorry, guys. It's so funny. It's kind of funny how these fall because since they're twisted, they don't like buckle. You know, they actually fall. Dude, come on. I feel like I really scuffed this one now. Just won't stop falling. I've actually never had a pot do that before. Like that much. Oh, there it is. Boom, 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 boom. I fell 3 times and it's still surviving. I feel like you can see my handprints on it, so I feel like this is kind of not a great one out of the trees. But still has a form that we're kind of looking for. A little bit of water, throw with our pinkies. Bring this up. I think a double tendril will save this one though. Like if I'm looking at this one, it's calling for a double tendril. So here we go. All right, here, curl. Curl this up. Curl that up. Curl that up. Nice, look at that. Oh, dude. All right, so this one, curl this one backwards. Look at that. Oh. Get that clay right out of the bottom there. Meant to do that. It's an implied imperfection. I don't know. This one, the way that was falling definitely was not. I didn't mean to do that, right? But the tree's like falling and collapsing. I meant to do that, you know? So that was kind of like it's an interesting pot. Like the fact that I can see my hands on the trunk though, like my fingerprints, like if I choose not to, what's it called? Glaze, I think that'll be kind of interesting to see my handprints on that clay, right? Still looks kind of cool though, surprisingly enough. A little water right on that surface there. Nice. Makes me think of the Chaplin's Tramp. I don't know that. Is that a movie? I feel like I need to do. I want to feel the music, but I don't want to be too loud, you know? I feel like I couldn't really feel the music there. But, alright, let's get some more water to get the clay out of there. Alright, sweet. Alright, so rotate that around. Camera A. Again, push that hand. Go right up to the bottom. Bring that up. Okay. We're going to go down first, and we're going to go back up afterwards. Trying to get some of that off-centered clay under control. Pottery shelf. Bring that up. How you feel on the bottom there? Nope, didn't get it. Right down. What I'm feeling for, there's this tear that's wanting to happen, so I'm trying to get rid of that. Just peeling that open like an orange. Right? You can see me really trying to peel that open and bring that up. The clay is hard, so we really got to overpower it, right? Right to the bottom again. I think I got it this time. Oh, there we go. Right up to the bottom. Project that forward ever so slightly. Speed up. The thinner you get. There you go. Just having that bottom hand just guide where it's wanting to fall, right? Push that in ever so slightly. Right down to the base, and then get ready to transition those hands. Watch them shift, and you just bring that up. And there you go. Oh, somebody is saying, they're saying you deserve it, and then saying daddy after it in my YouTube chat. It's a little wild. Chill out. It's just clay. Alright. Push my fist down. And out. Great. Still don't know who Chaplain Tramp is. I'll have to look that one up after. Alright. Some water down. Wheel. Boom, 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 boom. This guy said, I'm joking, mate. I'll sub, man. Thanks, I appreciate it. No, it's okay. I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of like sexual undertones in ceramics, so that, I mean, that's why you see everybody kind of default to that, right? So don't worry, you're fine. It's actually kind of funny, especially since like I don't know, it just seems funny. It seems very soothing. Clay? I don't know, I feel like it's not. For me, it's kind of like that battle. I like that sort of battle that you get with the material. Like, it is actively not wanting to do what you want, right? At all stages of the process, right? And so I kind of like that war that happens between you and material, right? It feels like you're trying to battle against like nature or something. It's kind of cool, right? So I don't know if it's soothing for me, but it does alleviate my need to find value. How about that? Sure, we're uncomfortable about doing live, etc., especially with sexualizing ceramicists. No, I don't think I ever get uncomfortable about that stuff. For me, it's like so funny. It's just kind of like, I take it, I feel like people will say that and then they don't really know like what's behind all the work that I do, right? Like, I have a lot of people who will like on my YouTube shorts will say like stuff like that, like inappropriate stuff, but again, it's just like they just don't even know. Like, I don't ever I take this stuff like so seriously. It's like quite literally the most important thing to me, right? And so I think they just don't see that. If they were to click on my profile and see like how serious I am with it, well, obviously I have anonymity. I can't even say that word, so they're probably going to post it no matter what. But I think people just don't understand how I am about it. Too Shorts is so bad with the comments. I feel that for real it is. Pottery is sensual. It's poetic and earthy. I always think it's really poetic. Somebody said you're like the Bob Ross for clay, for clay, for me, man. Sort of like Bob Claymon. That's so funny. I like that. Yeah, it is a kind of alive. I do like that part about it, right? Like, it really does feel like you're like wrestling. Like, when I say battle, I really mean it. This feels like a battle. But yeah, YouTube Shorts are really bad with it. But again, you know, it's whatever. It doesn't, somebody taking the time to type that stuff out, it just doesn't even bother me. I have other things I have my eyes set on, and I got other focuses, you know. It's just like I don't got time to interact with a lot of the negative or weird comments. It's just part of it. I always think in my mind, like, this is my ego kind of being a little bit too like active, right? But I think in my mind I'm just like, dang, okay, so there's somebody hate commenting or something, like they're taking time out of their day to type that, right? Like, I don't have time to take out of my day to respond, right? How cool is that, right? They have the time to spread negativity, but I don't even have the time to interact with it, right? I think that's like one of the coolest things. Has the Potter life made you consider your physical health differently, like your back, hands, and arthritis? You know, it probably is going to mess me up somehow. Like, I'm going to get silicosis, I'm going to get something, right? My hands, you know, they're going to get damaged, or I'm going to have arthritis, or, you know, something's bad, my back's going to be all screwed up. But man, if I can look back on the times that I was on the wheel and think that I gave it all, I emptied my bucket, right? Then it doesn't even matter to me, because I knew I emptied my bucket. And if I still can find a way, you know, like maybe I can't throw or make pottery with my hands, right? I'll find another way to do it, right? I think I'm really open to finding some wild ways of it. What's the largest thing you've made? I think it's over here somewhere. I'll bring it over. Well, where is it at? This thing's the largest thing. I haven't made anything too big, right? But I was making these kind of tall pots. It's like a leg, right? Pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. Alright, so this guy is my biggest one, I think. Right? I'm making one that's a little bit bigger right now, but yeah. This is it in comparison. And this is after fired too, right? So you can kind of see it's just kind of on a different scale. But it's kind of fun. I used to do a lot of stuff like that, but then I realized for me, you know, I had this theory when I was first starting pottery, where I was thinking to myself, well, you know what's so cool, you know, high intensity over a short period of time, right? So then I would do like, for one day I was like, all right, I'm gonna make 200 cups, right? And I'm gonna trim all the cups 200 within 24 hours, right? And I did it, right? And then 2 days later, I just didn't make anything, right? I was just chilling out, and then I realized, oh, that was like easy because I saw recovery, right? The idea of recovery was after, right? The struggle, right? And so then I was like, wait a second, no. What if I flop that and I don't have that end goal anytime soon, right? And so that's why I'm doing these 3 pots every day, right? Is because I don't even want to see the end goal. I want to see if I can keep doing it, right? Like I can do the 200 cups in a day trimmed, right? That's fine. But I can't. Can I do the, you know, 3 pots every single day, you know, for a year, and then edited and posted every single day? That was like a test for me. I really wanted to see if I can do it. And man, yeah, we're at 80%. So we'll see how it goes. But somebody says they are just jealous because they want to enjoy the clay that good too. Oh yeah, maybe you're talking about the haters. Yeah, probably. But do you yoga or stretch? Now I play a game. It's kind of like a hacky sack game called Tijianzi, and I kick this little bird, right? And this bird kind of gives me like my little workout. And then I play basketball on the weekends. And so that's kind of my only exercise other than just like moving a lot of like clay materials, moving boxes of clay, moving my pots, always moving something heavy, you know? So it's just kind of like a totally different energy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think about like the stretching part. I think I'm already kind of limber throughout the day. So I don't ever think about yoga or stretching. It probably would help me out, but I've never really felt like I needed to stretch. I always feel like I'm kind of moving around a space, kind of like noodly, right? And so I kind of always think I'm stretching. People probably think I'm a little bit crazy when I walk into places and I'll like squat down, you know, instead of sitting on a chair, or like I'll just jump around. So yeah, I truly like watching this man. You're the Otto Hino this generation. I don't know that person. Namaste, new energy and peaceful vibes your way, brother. Hey, thank you so much, home bro. That's really, home bro. That's like it makes it feel like we were like really close, like friends before this. Like, I'll see you later, home bro. You know, but it's not. I just met you. But hey, thanks again. I really appreciate you stopping by. The style is wicked. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, guys, I'm done. Well, I guess I didn't even remember making the first one, it feels like. Enjoying the conversation. I feel like now, this is the most I've ever talked to the chat. It's kind of awesome, you guys. Like, I think I've been nonstop talking with you guys. I lost track of my own pottery time. All right. I feel like I need to get my little bucket somewhere. Where did I put that thing? Ah, it's over here. All right. I'll set this right on the back. Boom. I think this looks great. Look at that. Alrighty, here we go. We'll talk about the pots. Green on. Hello everybody, it's me. I'm coming at you again. First I'm going to start with this pot here. If I'm looking at this pot, this one was the surprise of the day. This was the first one I did of the day. And I got it really, really tall. I hope that one of you guys could go back and see the VOD, or I could replay that clip of me doing it. But it was like the tallest pull of the day. It felt so great. And then it was so tall, so I usually do a buffer, because if I do a collapse all the way at the top, all the way through a tall vase, usually it falls a lot easier or more easily. And so I did a little spiral buffer, and then I did a quick spiral buffer and it started collapsing, but then I kept with it. I finished this sort of the veins of the tree and created some really cool, work. On the second one, over here, if we're looking at this one, I really like the way the two tendrils are coming up and meeting over top of that opening, giving that rim is really being a framing device for that interior spiral, and also those tendrils coming together over top, right? So something really nice about the silhouette of that pot, right? And if we go up the top one right above us, it's more of a mundane pot, but it's a really uniform mundane pot. So there's kind of like a properness to that pot, it feels like. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality.